were to ask you, what is the Kirk Newman Art School? How do you explain it to somebody?
So in 1949, Kirk Newman came to the KIA, Kalamazoo Institute of Arts, and set up the school and really wanted the school to be equal to what you would get at a university, the quality of the teaching, the quality of the instruction. The school has grown to about 8 departments. Ceramics, we have the busiest department here. We run about 15 classes every session, 150 students probably. So we're community-based, not like, say, an institution like a university or community college, so we're not giving out grades. All our classes, we ask that everyone takes a beginning ceramics class just to get their hands in clay, and they'll be introduced to all the hand-building processes and then a little taste of the wheel work. And then a lot of our classes are technique classes, so they might involve techniques of firing, they might include techniques of decoration or surface embellishment, scale, themes. We will rival any studio around in the area in West Michigan, so yeah.
I was looking to start a new hobby when my daughter went off to college, and I decided to try ceramics. And I had heard about the school and knew some people that took classes here. So I signed up for a beginning class and I loved it. And I've been continuing on ever since, and that was about 8 or 9 years ago. So before I started my classes here, I had never touched a molecule of clay in my life. I mean, ever. I really give the credit for the progress I've made to my instructors and my classmates. Like, it's a very collaborative, cooperative environment, and people help each other. If I have a question about something, I know I can always ask someone. That really has helped me improve and taken me on this path.
How do you teach the differences between allowing somebody to be creative in their art and like really nailing down those technical skills at the same time?
Well, there's always that saying that eventually your hands catch up with your head and your heart, and so you do have to learn those techniques. And sometimes you have to just hold people back and say, you know, you'll get this sometime. You won't be able to throw a 15-inch pot right now, but once you get the techniques down, you'll get there. And ceramics requires so much patience, and we put something in a kiln and we don't see it maybe for another 5 days or even longer. So, you know, the learning process also requires the patience, just like the techniques do.
I feel like it's a very special, unique place, not only because of the school and the inspiration I get from other students and the faculty, but the museum. Like, for us to have access to the museum and be able to walk through the galleries and see the things that are in there, and then have that spark ideas, I think is really unique. So I feel like being in an art school and having access to a world-class museum is really a unique combination that we're very, very fortunate to have.
I think it ups our quality and what we can offer, and we can take the students into the museum and show them current work, traveling shows, and use that as a teaching source of ideas, generating ideas. And they see what professional artists are doing. You know, we're all, like I say, our teachers are all practicing artists, so they understand that this is what it takes to really make it.
I always try and come in here with an idea of what am I going to do today. Otherwise, I just sit there and I'm overwhelmed. So I make a mental list of what I want to do. And then my other favorite part is at the total other end of the process when you see the finished results.
What are some of your favorite moments of teaching with your students, whether it's, you know, breakthroughs or teaching them a new technique?
Yeah, the community. Definitely here, you know, there's people that are in here every day, and they return year after year for these classes. I think the breakthrough moments are always when people have success, or even with failure, that they learn from that. But mostly the success, and then I really like to see someone take that success and move on to the next piece. We call working in a series. So if you sort of catapult off one piece and into another. So it just continually generates ideas. So, and that's the way I work too. I mean, my ideas come from working, having my hands in clay in the studio, so.
I make a lot of pottery that is themed for one of the sports that I also participate in, which is curling. And so I wanted to focus on expanding what I do there. So I spoke with the instructor beforehand and said, this is what I want to do. So I had a specific goal in that class. Often in a class, I'll have a goal of what I want to work on. The instructors usually ask at the beginning if there's something specific that you want to work on that time, and the class is usually focused on something. And then, as I said, when I come in on class day, I usually have an idea of what I want to make, what I want to do, what I want to accomplish, and that really helps guide me.
What would you maybe say to somebody who wants to try out a class here? Would you, urge them to do it?
Oh, definitely. We offer different length of sessions, and I always say, if you're not sure, our spring session is only 6 weeks long, and that's always where you can get a taste. I invite anyone to come down, and we have scholarship programs, so if, cost should never be prohibitive for you to be able to be creative.
What are your feelings about the art scene in Kalamazoo as a whole?
Vibrant.
Yeah.
Very vibrant. Between all the visual arts, there's little studios everywhere, there's pop-up galleries, between the art hops on the first Friday nights, music, dance, theater. We're right down here, downtown, with the Civic Theater. So there's a lot going on. I think I've never seen it drop off. I only see it growing more and more all the time. And, we know that there's other studios opening up, and it's like, that's great, because we feel like we're very unique in our teaching methods. So, the more, the better.
I think Kalamazoo has and West Michigan, has a great art scene. I think it's one of the really defining things about this area. I think the art school and the KIA play really an anchoring role in that.
Our facilities are great, the people around, the administration and my bosses, they're great. So that's kind of what it means to me, I think. And I'm really proud of what we've done here.
Be sure to find us on YouTube and Instagram. Exclusive videos, extended content, and behind-the-scenes pictures. Just search Kalamazoo Lively Arts.